All right. So, hello, Feral Fam. Welcome to the show, podcast, radio, all the things, I guess. However, you're in taking this episode, we appreciate you guys being here and joining us. We have Dominique Jackson. Now, what do you call yourself? Like, I saw all the titles and like, come on, I don't know, I don't want to say
all that fancy stuff.
Psychiatrist, like, author, like
Licensed clinical social worker.
there you go.
That's my degree title. This LCSW is what it is, like acronym shortened. But yeah, my job is a therapist.
Okay.
So I own my own private practice,
Okay.
and I do therapy. So that's my job. But my degree title is licensed clinical social worker. Yeah.
Okay. So do you use your degree title like in your therapy every day, or do you have? Is it only one job that you have? Like you own your own therapy?
No. So I mean, no one really calls me like. It's funny because some people will say like doctor. I'm like, I'm not a doctor. So really just Miss Dominique. Like it doesn't really come up,
Right.
honestly, except for like credential wise, if someone really wanted to know my credentials, which people usually don't ask. But then it'll come up. But everyday use is just Miss Dominique.
Miss
Just,
Dominique.
yeah.
Okay. I need help.
What made you get into therapy?
Okay. I would say probably it was funny because at first I just kind of got interested in just how the mind works and how we think and how we process things when I took psychology in high school.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, this is interesting. And so then I went to college and got my bachelor's in psychology at UNF. I went to UNF. And then I was like, well, learning more about it. I was like, maybe I want to go into mental health. Like as just encountering more about what can you do with psychology, which is not a lot just on the base of a bachelor's. You usually have to do something else with it. And so I decided maybe mental health with just the way it had affected my life, and I saw the benefits of it and things like that. I felt really comfortable in that space. And at first I was going to get a whole different degree, and then life happened and I got accepted to a master's program, couldn't go, all these things happened. And then one of my family members said like, well, why don't you try social work? Because you can do therapy with social work, or if let's say you get burnt out, you can then do something else, help with community work. So it was a lot more options.
Okay.
So it was like, why don't you try that? And I said, okay. And so then I got in the master's program for FSU, did that, graduated, and then I got licensed, and I was like, I want to have my private practice. I want to work for myself. And then just did that and got there.
So you never actually did any social work?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes,
Okay.
I did. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was in the trenches.
Okay, how's that?
I was like, yeah.
I worked at Catholic Charities in downtown Jacksonville. I've lived in this area like all my life. So I did case management for Catholic Charities downtown, where we help with rent assistance and light bill and things like that, and at a food pantry there too. Really, really nice food pantry. I think it's still running. So if anybody ever needs one, it's really nice.
Oh, good.
So I did that for a little while, and then I got into case management work for DCF.
Yeah.
So I had case management with children who were part of DCF, foster care, things like that. So then I got involved in that, and I did that up until like the last year of my master's, and I got a job working for my internship working at the VA. Then I was doing case management at the VA. And then so I did that, graduated. Then that's when I actually started doing therapy stuff, and I got an outpatient job doing therapy for like 3 months, hated it. And so then I ended up getting a job doing dialysis social work. Yeah, I know, right? Didn't know that was a thing. Didn't really know, wasn't familiar with dialysis in general, but learned so much about medical social work, basically being in that field and what dialysis is, and high blood pressure, all those things that you learn about there. And actually, it's a requirement by like Medicare, Medicaid that you have a social worker on staff in the dialysis clinic. So it's like they have to have a social worker there. And so I did a lot of work helping them with any kind of assistance, insurance, getting Social Security. You can help with that. So we just help a lot of different things because it's such a life-altering situation when you get on dialysis. We help with transplant too, trying to get people off dialysis. So we did a lot of things in there. And so that was really fun, honestly. I really enjoyed that
Good.
work. But then I still was like, I want to do private practice. So through all that time, I was doing everything I needed to do to be licensed, because you cannot do private practice on your own as a social worker without being fully licensed with the state. And that's like 2-year process. So while I was working at dialysis, I still was doing what I had to do to get licensed. And then once I got licensed, I got like 2-3 clients. COVID hit right when I got licensed and started my business. COVID hit.
Oh, man.
So I started January 2020, my private practice, and like COVID hit like
Oh my.
February, March. Like it was already on the way basically around that time. And so then I was like, okay. And so I kind of juggled both for a little while. And then 6 months or so later, I had enough people where I was like, okay, I actually can just do this full time instead of
Neat. Okay.
transition to full time around that time. And that's all that I've been doing ever since.
That's
Been
crazy.
busy since.
Yes, I've been busy since.
Is your office located in Orange Park? Is that
It
right?
is,
Okay.
yes. It's in Orange Park. It's over in
Okay.
Orange Park off of Blanding, yeah.
Okay. What about?
It is close to, if you know where the Big Lots used to be on Blanding,
Yeah.
when they shut it down, it's gone. It's like 2 streets past that. It's a little like side area over there where there's a church. And there's like
Like
little.
Pincher Penny is over there?
Like
Yes, across the street. It's across the street from Pincher Penny. It's across.
Okay.
It's across the street from Pincher Penny. Over there's like a couple little buildings and things over in there.
Yeah, she lives there now, and my parents live there. We grew up there.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you know the area, yeah. So then it's right over in those buildings, and I rent a space over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why? Now you were driven to start the private practice, but why were you so driven to do it? Like, why did you want to do it?
I wanted to work for myself. Like a big part of it is I just wanted to control my narrative of how it went. I have 2 daughters, so I wanted to be able to be there for them. So that they're always the forefront of any decision I make is like, how can I be present in their life? Because I'm a single mom. And so I wanted to be able to, if there's an appointment at school, I want to be able to make it,
Yeah.
or even if there's like an activity.
Yeah.
Because I grew up as a kid of a single mom. My mom worked really hard. And so she couldn't be there for those things. So I wanted to be able to if I could.
Yeah.
And so working for myself, that I'm the one who gets to make the schedule, and I'm the one who gets to, if I need to move a client, and, of course, I try not to move clients, but if it's something going on with them, then I'm able to easily move that and not ask somebody else's permission.
Okay.
So that's why I really wanted to do private practice, is because I wanted to control
You want your
just
freedom.
everything. Yeah, I wanted freedom. I wanted freedom, yeah. And so, and also with the clientele I saw, how my hours looked, it was what I wanted flexibility-wise for my life right now. And so that's why I tried to do that.
Oh, that makes sense. I think that's like a beautiful thing when you can.
Yes.
Once I started working hybrid, I was like, there's no way. I'm never going to be working.
Going back.
Oh, yeah, it's too hard. I think about it sometimes because obviously, you don't get PTO, right? When you work for yourself, there's no PTO. It's just, if you're not working, you're not getting paid. And so every once in a while, I think about maybe if I went back, get PTO and of course insurance, they pay for some of it, so it's not as high. But then I think, I cannot wake up to get there at 8 o'clock or, I can't get up early and to get in the...
And sit there all
Sit there all
day.
day.
When we have 50 million things going on
Yeah.
that we have to do.
So I think I was like, I can't do it, even though those are really great positives on why. I just, I sit and think about I can't go back. I can't do that.
I'm spoiled now.
Huh?
I'm spoiled now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You really are. It's really, you really get spoiled.
You describe yourself as a wellness nerd. What does that mean to you?
Oh, so it's a combining of my 2 loves. Nerd culture, like video games, anime, all those things have been in my life since I can remember. And I had like a Nintendo, like the old Nintendo, like with the front slide.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah, I had that. Because I was the only child, my mom definitely tried to keep me busy and keep me entertained when she was working hard and things like that. So, I had Game Boy, Sega, Nintendo 64. Like, I just had all these things because she just saw I liked them. And so she would just, get those for me. That was also back in the day when there was layaway, so she could put that stuff on layaway. And so I just always have had that stuff in my life and loved it. And then I didn't really do anime at that time just because it just wasn't introduced to me. Just the video game part was. But as I got more involved with other people who were in that space and they introduced me to different things, and it started really becoming a part of my life with anime and then cosplay after I got some friends who did that. Comics, manga, all that kind of stuff got introduced to me more and more as I got more in the space. And I think I'll probably be in that space till I die. I enjoy every part of it. My daughters are in it too. Come on, like this stuff. Cool. You know, you introduce that, so come on, like it. So it's a part of, it's like a cornerstone of my life. Like even with any partner I have, it's like you have to like this space because it just doesn't, it won't fit right with my life if you don't like it, or you think ill of it. So that was always something I loved. And then wellness, of course, the work I do. It's really important to me about well-being and finding what that looks like for everybody. It's all individual and different, but it's important to me, especially as we look at like stress. The more I learned about stress and how big of a factor it is in your life and your health, how much it can affect you when you don't even realize it, you know, how we can carry that. And so that's always a really important thing, even like sleep, eating, all that stuff, a part of wellness, all that stuff is really important. And so I started to really think about how those two could connect, because unfortunately there are still people that have a very old way of thinking when it comes to nerd culture. Like that's for kids, you know, it's a waste of time. I don't understand. I don't get it. That's weird. You know, that kind of, you know, rhetoric. And I started to really think about how so wrong they are when it comes to that space. And really when you think about the great enrichment it can provide in your life. And so that's when I started like doing the wellness nerd thing of really talking about how there's so much more enrichment in that space and so much health. Like anything can be bad, you know, if you use it in the wrong way. And that's for even exercise, you know, people don't look at it that way, but if you exercise in a really unhealthy way, you can hurt yourself, you know, it could be bad too. And so when you use it in the right way, it adds so much. Adds so much positivity, like whether it's friendships you make, the people you meet. And that's how we kind of met is through that space. Through Ryan. So it's like the people you meet, what you learn about yourself. Even the stuff you watch. So there's sometimes it's not all silly. Some of it's very serious stuff that deal with very serious themes. And if that's something you can relate to and process, then that's what you use to relate to and process with. You know, and so I just really wanted to start highlighting those things more about where the wellness is in being a nerd.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you use it in your everyday like work?
I do actually. I don't know if it's surprising, but I meet a lot of people that are in that space. Like when they come to me as clients, I don't even have to, before I even was branding it that way, people would mention that like, oh, they play D&D, they play, you know, they like anime. And so I'm like, I like that stuff too. And you could see like people light up when you say like, you know what that stuff is, and you talk about that. They makes them feel good. It makes them feel like you know them, and you know, and you understand them, which I did, because we didn't have conversations about, I like that video game or like anime or whatever, and it made them more comfortable. And that's really important in a therapeutic setting, is that comfortability and feeling like the person really cares about you. Which I do, but so it comes up all the time. It comes up all the time. And whether it's just to build rapport with them, or we just talk about it, or sometimes I can use it in ways to make points. And I'm a big metaphor person sometimes, so then I can sometimes use those things to get my point across for them to understand it a little bit better and it received a little bit better.
I want to understand what metaphors. Like all that. So I'm a kid in here most days. Like cosplay as a metaphor. Like,
well, it can be about like creativity, right? And so when you're trying to like hide who you are, you can use it in ways to like actually bring out the person you want to be. Okay. You know? And so sometimes it's really cool to be able to make those connections that way, and then people understand it sometimes a little bit better when you use things that are the culture or information that they already really readily access. Yeah. So that they can make connections better. Yeah, so cool. It comes up all the time.
That's neat.
Yeah, it's great. I didn't know, like, it wasn't something I knew was going to happen, and it didn't. I was like, there's something here.
I'm all the way out there. I'd be like showing up like, I am the person. Wait, you know what's wrong today? I'm like, I feel like both.
Hey, that's what you feel like.
So that led you to writing your book, right?
Yes.
So tell us more about your book.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Should I hold it up? Like,
Yes, hold it up.
It's called Power Up, the intersection between nerd culture and mental health, from video games, anime, conventions, and D&D to cosplay.
Where else can you find it outside of Amazon? Anywhere else?
That's only on Amazon right now. Or if you happen to live in Green Cove Springs, they have it at, what's the coffee house there? Oh my God. Thank you, Spring Park Coffee. It's a couple of them are in there as well. So if you happen to live there, there's some there.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. But a big piece of therapy is evidence-based work. Like they want you to use techniques and ideas that have some research backing to them.
Yeah.
Right. And so when I really started to realize there was connection with nerd culture, when I'm just seeing it in my practice, I'm like, well, what's some of the literature say? What does actually some of the data say about this? And so I started to do some research and started to see like there used to not really be any connection. Well, they used to not look for connections because of like it's bad, it's a waste of time. So like we don't even want to waste our time looking at this, you know. And in the 90s, there was this whole thing about like Pokemon was like the devil, you know, and D&D was like, you know, the devil.
Yeah.
And so it was like all this really negative atmosphere around it. So they just didn't even really look at any research around it, or there was very little. And then it started picking up about the early 2000s. And so you started seeing a lot more research around it. So I was just really looking at the research. And so I want to kind of like compile it in a way that, because people have already compiled it, but in a way that really also I can use my own experiences, personal and professional, and how that they can actually be translated to like, this is what it looks like in therapy, or this is what it looks like in your everyday life. If you want to meet new friends and you're into this kind of thing, here's places you can go to. This is things you can do. This is how you can use the things you love to create more opportunities to make friends, make friends and things like that. Connect. Or connect. Or if you know you're not really sure about your identity, you're having identity issues, right? Or you want to explore them. Not even issues, you just want to explore them more. You know, video games, you can do that when you create a character. You know, or Dungeons and Dragons when you create a character, right?
So
you can explore.
Like Sims.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Sims is a big one, yeah.
Okay.
And so it's like that's a way to explore, you know, how you feel, and you know, whether it's sexuality, whether it's just, you know, what you want to wear, or your hair color, whatever it is, you know. Now we can customize characters in so many different ways, and that's really cool. Yeah. Or even if it's about confidence building. Then you know that when you take on really hard video games and you actually beat them, that does make you feel good. You know, it makes you feel really good. You know. Yes. And so even that can be used, or and I talk about ways even like therapists themselves can use it. There's actually a lot of like now geek therapists that are around, and you can actually get like a certification. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it's really cool. So you can get certifications now, and they're very expensive. So I looked at them and I was like, well, maybe not that. But
someone sponsor you.
Yeah, I'm like, get some money on it. But so even talk about like how you can use it in your own therapy. There was a really cool activity where in D&D, when you make your own character, you create, they have like charisma, strength, you know, those different kind of personality traits, and you're supposed to add numbers to them, basically, to say this, your character's this strong with charisma, and so on and so forth. You can use that activity to rate yourself. Oh, okay. Right, and then the therapist can go like, why'd you give yourself a 1 in this, or why'd you give yourself an 8 in this, and you can talk about it. And then you can the therapist can ask the person, well, is there something you want to change those scores? Is there what would you like to see those scores look like? And you can talk about that. And then you can rehash it maybe 10 sessions later and see where you think you are now. And you can compare the two and see growth or maybe decline. But you could talk about that and see what it is. So there's ways you can use it in therapy as well. And so I talk about all those different things in the book. Oh, cool. It's really fun. I had lots of fun researching it and getting all those data points and organizing it out. I like that kind of stuff. So it was really fun to actually understand that stuff.
And she's published too.
Oh, nice. I know
on
it's not me.
Amazon. Yeah. Amazon. No, it is about you. No, I did like an astrology book. It was like a
cool.
self-care coloring book with puzzles and just information, like a little starter book for anybody that wants to kind of dig into astrology a little bit.
I love that. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
Cute.
just something I wanted to do for myself to see if I could push my boundaries.
Yeah, I
and see
understand.
if I
Yeah,
could do it.
exactly the reason why I did it. I'm like, I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna
Yep.
push it.
Yeah,
Let's do it. Yeah.
it wasn't really meant for anybody to see. It was just for me to know I can do it.
Yeah, I understand exactly what you mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool. Well, congratulations.
Thank
to
you.
for that.
You as well.
Thank you.
That's cool. Now, when is there stuff that you can do in there? Is it interactive or is it
No, it's not interactive. I have some people have given me feedback. They like there's a glossary in there, but that's it. Nothing interactive. But
so they can understand the terms.
yeah, they think it's fun that I defined some of that stuff that they said that. Then they can tell other people like it was a good definition they felt, and they could like relate.
Oh yeah,
that.
they can relay their feelings better.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yes, I'm learning about emotions
Exactly. Yeah.
and how to convey them right now in this season of life. So
It's
I'm like,
hard.
okay.
It's much harder than people give it credit for.
Oh, for
extremely
sure. And
hard.
like there are specific words for specific
Yeah.
emotions, and like we've bastardized the English language so much that we use very similar words when it's not really that feeling.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my
Absolutely.
God.
Yeah. I have a whole feelings chart with all these different words
Yes.
on it. So I'm like, well, really, what is it? What is the
this is
actual
anger.
feeling? Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's like all these
The other words. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, I have the feelings chart too for my daughter.
Nice.
Yes. I was like, listen here. You are not angry. You are something else.
Yeah, I love that.
Which is this?
Yeah. It's so much when you really understand, and because also it's like when you find the word,
Yes.
you feel better. Like that.
That makes sense.
That's what it is. I'm not angry. I'm this. I'm frustrated. I'm like
You're
know.
frustrated because you feel misunderstood.
Yeah.
Or this and any other, but there are all these. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But, yeah.
Yes. And then that means you have to deal with your feelings.
Yes, the other step part.
Process them.
So I had an interesting. It's like I've done therapy. She's done therapy. It's like, what is a mental health myth that you wish people would just like pop?
I think one that I think is a good one to pop would be that you show up and you'll get the answers, and it's quick and easy, and I'm done. Like I just one time I need to come, and that's all, and I'm done. It might be that way. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but a lot of times there's a lot more going on that you need a lot more time. It doesn't heal quick. Healing doesn't go quick a lot of times. Well, I think professionally that it's a slow process, and I think it should be so that it sticks better.
Right.
Yeah.
So that you're actually building up, talking about your emotions now and actually finding those right words. That takes time. That takes learning, and so that it takes more time to get through those things. But to me, I feel like it sticks better when it takes that time and you build it up. And I think people want it quick or they want a shortcut because who wants to feel terrible? So understand why people want it to go by quick. But I think it takes a lot more time and people want it quick, and it just doesn't happen that way a lot of the times.
No. I hear you on that. I mean, when we try to go to therapy, like my last relationship, we tried to go to therapy, and I was like, I don't understand why I have to do this. I'm like, because you do. It's not working, right? So like, it is what it is. But I stuck with it, and that took a long time. To get answers.
It takes a long time, yeah. Because even if you get them right, you still have those feelings, right? Like there's stuff attached to it a lot of times. Sure. And so you have to work through those or think about them and process them. And it just takes some time. And that's okay. It's supposed to. But, everybody wants it to be fast.
I was one of those people until I was like, nope, you're not allowed. I felt like Lilo, when she lays on the ground. Listens to That was me. That's totally Lilo. Like a year.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel Lilo on that too. Sometimes I just want to just listen to some music and just let it all just go.
Is that how you process your feelings with music?
I do, actually. Music is extremely important to me. I guess probably right along with nerd culture. That has been a mixture of my life too. Funny enough, like I used to fall asleep to it back in the day. My mom had this huge CD player, and it had the 10. You could put 10 CDs in it, you know, and it like it goes through it and rotates it.
Those old school CD
Yeah,
players.
it was old school. It was like hunking big, you know.
We had them back in the trunk too.
Yeah.
You can hear them rotate.
And so she had one of those in the house, and she would play like R&B. That's what she likes, and so she would play that when we go to sleep at night. So it was like just it's always in my brain, and so it's like it feels familiar and comforting.
What song would bring you back to that place?
Yeah. There's this artist. His name, I don't even know if he do music anymore, but his name was Rome.
Oh yes,
you know
Rome.
Yeah, yes. And so that every time I see your face, so my boyfriend hates the song. It made me laugh because he hates that song. But she had his CD, so it would play that, and so whenever I hear his song, it just takes me back to like that going to sleep, like getting ready for bed. And it's funny because it's like I don't even know I know the song. So like if I play his CD, I would know those songs I didn't even know I knew them because they're just embedded in my memory. Yeah, they're just in my memory. Yeah. And so that whenever I hear that always takes me back to that. Yeah.
What's your favorite Rome song?
Huh?
What's your favorite Rome song?
No, that was my favorite. That was the only one I know. That was the only one.
It's like that's his hit. That was like his one hit.
Yeah, that was the most popular. Just
that was it. That was his one. He was like a one-hit wonder type of guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but like other songs that are just not known, I know them because I went to sleep to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. I had no idea. I probably do, but I don't.
know the song.
I would.
If you played it, you would know.
It was definitely your time back in the day. You know the song.
Okay. So we're talking like you use music to soothe, self-soothe. What other tricks, not tips, but what other things do you do just for self-care?
So along with music, I have like a playlist of video game music and things like that I'll listen to. Video games is one that I enjoy. I love the rise of like cozy games that are around now.
Yes, I have the cozy coloring books.
You do? Yeah, I love just like the theme of cozy.
Yes.
And so it's like even in video games, like this is a cozy or wholesome video game. So it's like we're not trying to fight nobody. We're just trying to raise some plants. So we're trying to make some coffee.
Decompress. Just decompress and don't think about anything but right there.
Yeah, exactly. So I love those games. And they're like usually cheap, like cute little indie games or like $10 or something. And so I'll play those type of games or, meditation. I enjoy meditation. Not great at it, but I do enjoy it. And when I do it, I do see a difference in my life.
Okay.
So I do that. I enjoy laughter. Like a long time ago, I did a paper about laughter and the effects on your health. And it actually is really, it's good for you.
Yeah.
And so when I know I'm feeling bad, I'm like, I'll put on something that makes me laugh. I'll put on like what's comedy or whatever. I'll put on something I know is going to make me laugh.
Yeah.
Because it does make you feel better. And so I'll do that. Nature is always a good one. Going out, where there are walks on nature, sometimes just sitting outside and breathing. So those are probably I think my top. Those are my ones.
I'm always curious, how do the therapists self-soothe?
Yeah.
Well, it's sometimes,
Does a therapist have a therapist?
So I don't right now, but I have. I have. I've definitely, there's this thing called, I think it's, if I'm saying the word right, vicarious trauma. And it basically talks about how if your job has something to do, not even your job, if you're involved with, some trauma type of work or whatever, whether it's volunteering, whether it's work or whatever, you can kind of get secondary trauma from it, basically, of being near it. And so that's a big thing. Obviously, I'm dealing with people that are usually at their worst when they come see me. Obviously, they get better over time, but when they first come see me, they're not doing great. And they tell me why, and usually it's hard stuff. And so it can be really hard. And so I've definitely had therapists in the past for just personal stuff too, and been trying to manage business and personal and professional and everything. So I've definitely had therapists in the past. I haven't right now. I'm doing good right now.
That's great.
But if I feel like I need it, I definitely would, seek it out for sure. I think also I was a better therapist after going to therapy because then you really see how hard it is sometimes to take in what someo's giving you that feedback. You're like,
I don't know.
I know you're right, but I don't want you to be right, so I'm going to ignore that. But so it was I'm like, okay, now I get it. I get it, because on your side, when you're the therapist, then you're like, no, in your head, like, come on now.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
you know, I know this
That's
isn't good. And you keep doing it. What's going on?
Okay.
Right. But when you're on the other end, you're like, oh, that's why. Because it's uncomfortable and you don't want to do it. And it's easier to stay in the same place than it is to change and to grow. It's uncomfortable. And so really being in that space gives you a lot more perspective to that kind of experience. And so it made me a better therapist for sure to be in that space.
That's cool. Now, like, I read that you like see all kinds of clients, and I know that that's not like I didn't think it was a big deal until like when I went through my better health journey, and you have to pick out like what you would specialize in.
Yes, yeah.
So what made you decide to go into all communities, including gay?
Oh, to
Was it
me,
an easy decision?
yeah, it was no brainer. I mean, for me, I don't even like it. Doesn't. My brain doesn't process things that way.
Me neither, but
right?
it's funny.
But some people do. Some people
Yeah.
do. Some people do. But like, if you came and told me you love to go on orgies, I'd be like, okay, well, tell me about that. Like, I wouldn't even like my mind would go, oh my god, like.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm intrigued. Tell me about that. And what do you like about, like, you know, I don't bat an eye about people's lifestyle choices, about who they want to be, what they want to, as long as they're not hurting somebody, you know, as long as that there's no kind of victim, as in, you know, a child or person or something like that. It doesn't bother me. I don't care. I just want to know about you and what you want out of life, and I want to try to help you get there. So for me, it was a no-brainer about taking on any client. I don't take kids, but not because I don't enjoy kids, but because to me it's hard. Because if they're in an environment that's really, really hard, I feel like you're kind of turning the wheels with trying to help these kids, and then they're going back to an environment that's not great. But I know there's people that probably do really great work in that, so I definitely don't think it can't work. I just know I didn't feel like I could do it well.
I understand.
And so I just don't take kids. I use about 17, 18 and up. But that's like the only thing I don't hard. Well, no, that's not a hard stop, but I go like, so that's the only group I don't really take. Okay. But anybody else, I'm like, yeah, it doesn't even register to me.
I find it funny. I was like, they all have problems. And granted, you could do more research on the lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Help them, like, navigate their lives, but like, why leave out an entire demographic?
Absolutely. Yeah, I find that strange. Even with like you said, you need to do more research. Like, I always want knowledge. I'm just a person who loves learning about other people's cultures. So I think it's just because it's natural a thing for me anyways. Yeah. So I'm just intrigued, and like I might know a little bit about that culture, but I definitely don't know everything. And so I love to just listen to people's stories and just gather that. So to me, someone being in a different culture doesn't scare me off. Like I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I want to learn about it. And if I need to research something outside of it, because I don't make them tell me everything about their culture, because that's not fair. But if I needed to research more, then that's what the internet is for. It's right there. So then I just go do that. So I'm not intimidated by those type of things, you know, and you can just learn anything. And I love to learn. So that's not a challenge to me. Yeah. But I know it's hard for some people, and that's okay.
That is okay. I was just wondering, because I don't know, like what delineates this from that?
Yeah. We're all humans, and we all have issues and things and want relationships that work, whether or not it's, you know, a poly relationship or monogamous or whatever. We all want them to work. Yes. And one way they work is by communication. I don't care what kind you're in. You got to communicate and whatever. So to me, it's all the baseline of a lot of things, but what we want as people are very similar.
Oh, sure, yeah.
You know, we all want to be happy. It just looks different for everybody, but we all want to be happy. And so that to me is, okay, let's figure out how we do that.
Yeah, let's figure out you're happy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for doing that.
Of course. I appreciate that. That was a nice question.
Okay. What is the one therapy advice you tend to give out the most?
Communication. That is hard. That even when you expect someone to know how you feel, we all grow up in different ways, different places. Even when you grow up in the same house, if you have siblings, that doesn't mean they're going to interpret it the exact same way. So they'll be like, they know how I feel. They probably don't. They probably don't. And so probably the one I stress the most is communication. Did you tell them? Did you actually sit and have a conversation with them about that? No. Well, how are they going to know how you feel?
They should know.
Yeah. And so like they should know. So that's probably the biggest one. It's like that could solve so many problems if you just told somebody how you felt. Now, does that mean it's always going to be received? No. No. But whatever narrative you have created in your mind on like, they don't care about me, you know, or they would have came and said something to me, or they would have done this or that. You create all these narratives, and sometimes they just didn't know. And because everybody has things going on in their life and they're trying to do it all together, they just didn't know and didn't think about it, but not in a mean way. And so it's like, just ask, just communicate, and then you can fill your mind with the right narrative instead of making up one and putting it there. And so that's probably the biggest one that I come up against. It's like, you're creating a narrative. You're telling yourself these things, but did they say that? Did I ask them? I said, did they say that, or did you say that? And my client was like,
I thought it in my mind.
And I'm like, you might not be, you know, I tell them, you know, you could be right. You totally could be right, because you know this person better than I do. But you solve the problem if you just ask. And if they say, yeah, I didn't care, but now you know. Now you know they don't care. And now what do you want to do with that? You know, and so I'm like, get the assumptions out of the way. Let's get the actual fact, and then we can go from there.
That's funny. It's had that same. I was like, I don't think I said that.
See?
I was like, I feel like you might have heard this, but I did say that about this. I was like, the two are not the same.
Exactly. So the line they would say is like, what you said and what they heard you say.
Yes.
That's perceived.
Yeah.
Two different things. And like, that's I always tell them there's a called active listening, where I heard you say this. So you repeat it, and then they clarify. No, actually what I was trying to say was blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay. So you paraphrase and you put in your own words what you heard them say, because that's your interpretation. Then they can clarify it. And so that's the one I always say, like, you got to do active listening skills there.
Yes. 2 years.
You might experience it with teens. Teens do that big time.
Yep, so do husbands.
I'm going to wait until that processed. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait until, the light comes on, like, ding.
Right, yeah, and then we'll come back and we'll redo this.
Yes. I'll walk away now. We're good here. It's like, okay, Mom. It's better than me, like, because I don't know. She doesn't respond to raising your voice or anything like that. So I'm just like, give me a second.
Yeah, just let it soak in. Because it's funny when I had to research. I love research. If I don't understand on research, teens, like, just developmentally too. Like, I listened to a podcast and I can't remember the name of it. It was a neurobiologist though. She was talking about the development of the brain as a teen, and basically like their frontal cortex, which we know is not fully developed. And so that's where like the body language reading and the tone reading is. And so they think you're yelling and you could just be talking like this to them. And they're like, why are you yelling at me? But they literally can't interpret it correctly. And that really shined a lot. It gave me some
flashbacks.
It gave me some grace for my okay. Because we definitely had those moments where I'm like, I was not yelling, but like they
talking to you.
Yeah, but they literally cannot comprehend it, like, because their frontal cortex is not fully developed. And it made me go, I gotta give them more grace, more grace.
Okay.
Because of that. And they were saying basically also because we see them as they're about to be young adults, 17, 18, whatever. There's like your frontal cortex doesn't get developed like mid-20s.
Yeah, I thought it was like 30.
Yeah, it might even been 30s, but it's a long time. So basically they're still like,
they're babies still.
They're still babies, but they're about to be adults. So we're like, you're supposed to be, what you doing?
Where like if you're 18, you're a 1-year-old adult.
Yeah. But we're thinking you're about to go into this world. You need to
get
together because you're going to be all these mistakes or whatever. They're going to be high stakes now, but they're still like,
like,
you're like, okay. So even that one really was like, okay, I really have to communicate even harder to them and really go like, what did you hear? Like, so even giving them time to process it and coming back. So it's like, okay, now what have you like heard? What have you thought about that? Because they really just
they get so frazzled.
They get very frazzled.
Yeah. Like, okay, well, Chill out. Drink some water. You're fine.
Exactly.
What is something you've had to unlearn to become who you are today?
I had to unlearn that you don't have to be perfect at everything. Because as a single mom, I'm like, gotta do everything. I gotta be everywhere. Mm-hmm. If they are lacking in something, because I must be lacking in something. And so then I would be really hard on myself if they weren't doing well. And I did the same thing with therapy. Like, oh, I got to make, like, if they're not progressing, like, okay, I must not be doing something right.
Yeah.
You know, so I had to unlearn, like, that perfection thing is not real. Mm-hmm. It's unrealistic. And it makes you absolutely miserable. Mm-hmm. It makes you miserable to try to chase that. Mm-hmm. And it makes other people around you miserable because when you're upset and angry at yourself, it comes outwards, you know, and so there's times I would raise my voice at my girls and things like that because I was frustrated with myself, thinking I wasn't giving them something. I never did it with a client, but I realized like I'm doing them and myself a disservice because I'm not supposed to be perfect. There's no such thing, and I want them to know that too.
Yeah,
you know, and the same thing with my clients. I want them to know like it's okay that things don't always work out. And because that's not what the goal is. Mm-hmm. Everything's not going to always work out. Yeah. That's unrealistic. And so once I really unlearned that, it changed the way I parent, changed the way that I do therapy, because also it's like I make sure to be realistic with them. Like, okay, we're going to do something. That doesn't mean everything's going to work out. Mm-hmm. You know, life's not always going to be easy, but that's okay. It's not supposed to be. Right. It's a roller coaster. And so you don't have to, well, when is the next shoe going to drop kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. That anticipation thing of like.
That's the worst.
Right? But it's just like.
You're always following.
Yes, and if you always do that, it's like you're never going to enjoy anything. Mm-hmm. You're going to think, oh my God, life's kicking my butt. No, just life do that. Life does that to everybody. Like, you ain't special. You know, we're all going to have times where things are going great or then things are going bad, right? Yeah. I sprained my ankle. Or when we had to reschedule because my car, you know? And so it's just, it happens to everybody. Mm-hmm. And once you really get in that acceptance phase of that, and so you don't have to then have all these anxious thoughts around like, when something bad going to happen? Everything going good. And it really changes your outlook on your life. Mm-hmm. And it changed the way that I do therapy and I talk to my clients and be realistic with them. And I think that's helpful for them versus, you know, that high anxious feeling.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What's your favorite kind of client?
I love nerds. Because, I mean, it makes me excited too. And they're like, oh, I play this.
It's just so relatable.
It's so relatable. And so when they're like, I've ran into a client before at a convention.
Okay.
You know, and I always tell my clients whenever if I know we share these spaces, you know, I say if we meet each other in public, I'll never come up to you, protect your privacy. Mm-hmm. But if you come up to me, I'm going to speak. I'm going to speak to you, you know. If you speak to me first, if you start, I'm going to respond.
Yeah.
You know, but so I've run into one before at a convention, so that was fun. You know, and so I enjoy when they're nerds because it's like I said, it's really relatable and it's fun to talk about like a video game that come out. I'm like, I like that video game
and they're
too.
Just big kids. Yeah, they just want to have fun. They want to do all the fun things.
Exactly.
Whatever character they want to be for the day.
Yeah, exactly. So I find those lots of fun. Mm-hmm. Those are my favorite ones. Like I love all my clients. I love all my clients. But I do enjoy because, like I said, it's just a relatable thing. I think anytime you can relate to somebody, that's fun. Instantly creates a connection. Mm-hmm. You know, and so I enjoy that kind of stuff.
Now, during that time, were you in a whole cosplay outfit, or were you just?
I was in a cosplay outfit. Like it wasn't like I'm a low maintenance cosplayer because I'm not putting all that work into cosplay. It's just not my thing. It's a lot of time, it can be a lot of money, you know, or you got to be really like creative with sewing or something. I'm just not wanting to learn all that. So mine is like, what can I buy? Yeah. Low cost that can like create something. So mine are always like low maintenance ones. Like I got overalls and I'm like, okay, what character has overalls? And like, so like I did Repairman because he has overalls from like all that. I did Repairman because I was like, overalls, easy.
Oh my gosh, all that.
Yeah. Throwback.
Wow.
But so it was like a small kind of cosplay. She was in more cosplays than I was. But so it was fun to run into.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
That is neat. All right.
Ready.
If your ex was a drink, what would they be?
It would be vodka because I hate vodka. I don't like it.
Vodka with what?
Just straight vodka. Yes. See that?
Like
face?
gasoline.
Yeah, like gasoline.
Okay.
That's it. Avoid it at all costs.
Don't drink gasoline.
Yeah.
Is that good?
No, it's nasty.
What is the pettiest reason you've ever stopped talking to someone and you were right?
Yes, you're a therapist.
I'm very petty. That's what I say. Okay. I think the pettiest reason, it wasn't petty to me though, but it was like I was having a really hard time in my life, and it's like they popped back up to like see it, to like be a part of that, and I didn't like that. That I didn't like that.
Yeah, no, I don't like that either.
Yeah, and then they don't like me. I'm like, what?
Why are you there?
So that was probably because I really don't. I'm usually a pretty easygoing person, so I don't really have issues with people often. Or if my petty will, I have a limit of petty. I just like I told you so. Just keep going.
Okay, so being that you're supposed to be on that line, what's something that you've done out of revenge?
Out of revenge,
Proud of.
I poured an entire bottle of bourbon on somebody's floor. I was an ex-boyfriend. I'm proud of it. And because funny enough, I was friends with his roommate still, and it was like his room smelled like bourbon, like so long
awesome.
after that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good job. It's not gonna happen.
Oh my god.
So yeah, that was good. I'm still.
So proud of it.
I was like, it's like what the things you wish you do, and you're like, no, I can't do that.
No, like when they keep telling you to take the toothbrush or whatever.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
just like I ain't gonna do that. And that was one time I was like, oh, I'm doing it.
Ew.
Yeah.
I did it. I did the toothbrush thing.
You did it? Sometimes they deserve it.
What's a red flag you saw immediately and still ignored anyway?
A red flag that I saw immediately and ignored it in a past relationship was time. Like they weren't available a lot. Oh, they're just busy. They just got things going on. And I was like, no. Like in my head, it's like they're not available a lot. And I ignored it. That came to bite me, but so bad. But he learned.
Is that the bourbon guy?
No, it was a different guy. I have so many. No, that was a different guy.
So if you got put on the spot right now, would it be your call list or your camera roll? Which one are you showing me?
The call list would just be boring. It'd just be my boy. It'd be my boyfriend.
Aww.
So I guess
love you, boo.
I do love you very much. I was talking to him before I came.
Cute.
Yeah. I do my camera roll.
Okay.
Yeah. What you want to see it?
It's
boring. It's like my kid just got a car, so it's like her cheesing and stuff.
Aww.
Yeah.
That's cute.
I have a lot of pictures of them.
That's cute. Plus, yeah, no. I have to now. I leave my phone out apparently.
Oh, they take pictures of themselves?
Everybody be taking pictures of themselves.
Selfies.
So I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, okay.
Hey, what is this cover?
Now I go through, I'm like, this doesn't look like my usual algorithm.
Okay, so one more.
Okay, I had one. What's a lie you told in a relationship that you probably still lie about again?
A lie I told in a relationship that I probably would still lie about again would probably be about maybe style or something like that. Like, oh, like it's not you. My current person, like Daryl, it's not you. But like I'm not a big style person myself, so I'll just be like, yeah, that look good. So I probably would lie about style, because I just what else? I don't have any. If I don't have something to give you to change it, I'm just like, let's ride with it.
Aw, that's cute. So then the last question, obviously, is like, what makes you feral?
What makes you feral? I like to be right, and I usually am, because I usually do not put an opinion out there that I have not researched in some way or some form. And so, therefore, I usually know I'm right. And so when you tell me I'm wrong, I'm like, no. And I go, receipts. I love a good receipt. So that, and I like a lot of attention.
Okay.
I'm only trying to think it's just I like that kind of stuff. And I guess the work I do too. So it's like that. Want to be right, want attention can make a crazy person sometimes.
Only child syndrome.
It is.
I was like, I recognize this.
Yeah, that's it. That makes me a little feral at sometimes. So especially this, and also I think because I want to be independent too. So like independent, attention, and I know everything, right? And so when this happened with my boot with the foot, and I couldn't move around as much, I got fussed at so much about you need to sit down, you need to put your leg up, and I'm like, I got things to do. I got stuff I gotta do. And then I was like, well, why aren't you here helping me if you're gonna do that? So,
damsel in distress.
Yeah, but not wanting to be a damsel in distress all at the same time. So
that's awesome. Yes, I understand. I am that way. Yeah, you provide services for everybody, so there you go.
Yeah.
First, we always want to thank our lovely host, Kiki Jabba Jax, and Miss Daniela for allowing us to take up our time in our evening to play around with Miss Dominique.
Yes. This is fun.
I love learning, so this is cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we made that connection. Are you going to Ryan's next one? Next Jack's Creator event?
Probably not, because it's so far away from my house.
Okay.
Because I live in Green Cove.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I never come out. I want to, but it's just always like in the middle of the week.
Yeah, sorry.
On a Wednesday.
I hear you. It's 45 minutes. It's like a 45 minutes.
He knows what I'm talking about.
It's like 45 minutes, I understand. But he introduced us to Daniela, too. He's amazing.
I mean, he's good.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. I have nothing but good things to say.
Yes, so thank you again for coming up and spending your time with me. Like me, because I was thinking, you went all the way to my house. It
happens. I literally come up that way, so it wasn't even like.
I'm like, ooh. No plan. I was like, where are you? My bad. So anyway.
It's a good drive down, sure.
Yeah. All love.
All right.
Well, thank you, and until next week. Bye.
Bye. See y'all later.